You know what day is. Motorhome Mondays. Right. Hope you're all having a great week. How can you have a great week? It's freaking Monday. I hope you all have a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. We're off to a great start. We're off to a great start, people. Right, let's crack on with this week's questions. All about COVID. Hot topic, hot topic. Right, Nicola asks, getting through COVID, has it changed anything about your approach to van life? Not really. There's a few park ups have gone here and there, but not really that much. But no, I mean, I've always got food on hand. I always try and keep my water tanks topped up. I always keep my gas topped up and my diesel topped up, just in case anything was announced. And I had my app ping a few times. First time I got caught a bit, well, both times I got caught unaware, but the second time I did have stuff. So when the app pings and it's like, hey, don't go nowhere, freeze for 10 days. I had enough stuff on board so I could just stop. But oh, it's blooming warm. You know what? The problem with me making videos like this right now is I've got a fan here. Can't turn it on though, because then you get too much right at you, and that wouldn't be nice. So I'm just going to sit here and melt because it's a bit warm this morning. So yeah, nothing's really changed. Just always prepared. A few park ups have gone, and that's it really. Next one from Eddie. How difficult was it for you during COVID as a still working solo van lifer to keep yourself and others safe, and has it changed drastically anything about your normal van life operation? Similar question. How was it for me as a solo van lifer whilst working? I mean, I'm on my own all the time anyway, but it was pretty lonely, as in the sense of you didn't go see anyone. You got to work, your keys were given to you. You don't mingle with drivers. You just went straight to your cab. You cleaned your cab down, cleaned everything before you got in, and then you drove and done your job. And then when you got to the destination, you don't get out, you don't do anything, you don't see anyone. So from the little interaction that we usually do have as drivers, you know, banter in the yard and seeing each other at depots, and the depot staff, that all went. So that was quite a dramatic. That ain't even a word. Dramatic. I am on one this morning, peeps. I am on one. Yeah, that was quite a different thing to happen. Keeping others safe, yeah, literally just staying away from everyone, and then just constantly following all the rules, gloving up, masking up, sanitising everything, and then sanitising my truck completely at the end of my shift was a massive thing, ready for the next driver to then come along and he sanitised it, or she sanitised it, ready so they know it's all good to go. So next one from Kat. During your periods of isolation due to COVID, did you ever find yourself feeling down, and if so, what did you do to help that pass? Like I said, I got pinged twice, and I got told to shield once. Towards like this year, I got told to shield for 6 weeks because they changed the criteria. So I done the most dangerous part, and then I got told to shield. But hey, I just followed the rules. I got pinged on my phone twice. And yeah, I just kind of, I'm a lorry driver, so I've got a load of phone numbers of other lorry drivers and other people, so constantly on the phone, chatting to people. So even though I'm in four walls and I'm in a confined space, I've never felt, even through, I say never, but there's one question that come up with, kinda, but I didn't really feel claustrophobic. I've never really felt that in here. But I'm not going to say it was easy, because sitting in I don't know the square meterage of this, but it's a small box really, sitting in here for 10 days not going out, and parked up on the street. I was parked up wherever I could away from people, was not easy. I was thankful that I had some friends when I did need some stuff. They come and delivered it, dropped it outside in a carry bag outside my door. Then they disappeared. I spoke to them on the phone as they're driving away, and then I got to open the door and pick the bag of food up or bag of supplies. So I was grateful for that, to my mates for that. Yeah, it was really, but to help time pass was just doing bits online and Netflix. I actually got to use Netflix because half the country had completed Netflix by the time I got to start, and then I actually got to go, right, well, let's have some of this Netflix, you know. I haven't done that for a while because I've been working flat out. I've never worked more in my life. Right, next one from Chris. You went to stay at a hotel for a break and to chill out during COVID. You said you needed some respite. Was this only because of places closing down and lockdown, or was this because of something else and you have to do regularly behind the scenes of living full time in a motorhome? No, this is not what I do normally behind the scenes. It's the first time I've done it, and it came about because it was winter, it was dark, it was dreary. Park ups were, you know, I was trying to stay away from houses, trying to stay away from anywhere that was populated, really. You know, I was trying to go to like lay-bys and to industrial estates to try and stay away from people, to stop any problems arising, that people were still a bit on edge with van lifers. And I didn't want to be near people, you know, trying to stay away from people, which is the best thing, you know, because I'm still working and I don't want to harm anyone. So when it come to that time when I was, and there's a video about it, why I went in the in the hotel and the whole hotel thing, I did get quite down. I'm not a person to get down. I think it all just finally got on top of me. I mean, a year and a half or so of solid working the most I've ever worked in my life, really, more hours than I've ever done. I've made hay while the sun shines, which is a horrible thing to say when some people have passed. But work was there, and I had literally nothing else to do. There was nowhere to go out. There was nowhere to spend money. There was, apart from Amazon, there was nothing to do. So that was what I might as well have just done that. But yeah, my head got into a bit of a funk. I mean, I've never suffered with mental health or anything, and I don't understand it to an extent that I can say that was what it was. But I knew I was down, and I felt quite down, and because I had no power, I had all the taps were freezing where I was filling up with water. So water was an issue, park up was an issue, daylight was an issue, just everything was an issue. It was tough going. So I decided to go and stay in home. I couldn't go back to my family's, which technically within the rules I could have, but I couldn't because they all had COVID. So that was probably getting me down as well, that the entire family had COVID, which they're all fine, perfectly healthy, which I'm thankful for. So yeah, I went and checked into a hotel, and that done me an absolute solid. It was like a freaking night and day, because one, it gave my brain something new to do. It made me more creative, because I had an idea to do a video about it all, which as you can see from the video, is pretty funny. Yeah, it really did give me something other than the daily trudge that was there, which I know everyone's gone through these things, and I'm not, you know, belittling them in any way, but that did get to me in the end, you know. But them 2-3 days in the hotel sorted me right out and kicked my ass back into line, and yeah, done me wonders. So next question from Richard. Do you think the popularity of campervans / motorhomes as a result of lockdown is to the detriment of van life in general? As an example, the NC500 in Scotland is being overrun and hugely increased in tourists, but without the infrastructure to support it. It's quite a long question. Do you think it's going to ruin it for those of us who will still be here at the end of the novelty of van life when it's worn off in a year or two? So it's like anything. If you put 50,000 people into a football stadium and only one bin, you're going to have a mess on your hands. I'm not saying that, you know, like Scotland deserve it, or any local county or beauty spot deserve it. But the government's been saying, and we've been known about this, that they're not going to be able to travel abroad, and holidays abroad are going to be very hard and very hit and miss to do. So it's not as if the councils and local governments haven't had warning, and like staycations have been the big, hey, do a staycation, hey, do you know go to the local Butlins and Hopton, to Haven, and I used to go to Hopton, so that's why I said that. That was alright, that was as a kid. Go to centre parks, go to caravan parks, get a motorhome, get a campervan, go all that. So they've been saying that for ages, It's so it wasn't a big surprise that everyone was going to do it. So then when these beauty spots or these councils within these beauty spots and counties and around them areas haven't put infrastructure in, I'm not saying it's easy, because they're all restricted on budgets and funding, but what do they expect? And especially when there's toilets are closed, and then there's not enough bins, there's not enough facilities, there's not enough airs. If there was airs, which goes back to one of my previous videos about Campra, which we all need to get behind and support, if there was the airs, there'd be somewhere for them to go, and there'd be no excuse. You're obviously always going to get a bad apple in everything you do, in every country, every walk of life, every genre, every hobby, everything. You're going to get bad apples that just try and ruin it for everyone, because they're a dick at the end of the day. That is it. You're going to get a dick in life. That's what she said. Bit early for that, I suppose, but hey, why not? But if it's not as if they haven't been forewarned, so they should have ramped it up and made things available to stop these problems. Because, like I say, if you do put a lot of people in one area and no facilities, something's going to happen, and not for the good. Do I think it's going to ruin it for us when they're all gone and they're all back in Ibiza and Malaga and all that and partying away? I don't know. I hope not. I'm optimistic that we're going to get a lot more airs, and people are going to councils will react. It might be a bit slowly, but they'll react and they'll put a few airs in, fingers crossed. They'll put more facilities in, more dump stations, more bins, more park up locations, and then we will get to benefit for them once they're all gone. And then people from Europe will be able to come over and enjoy our country, travelling around and looking at the beautiful place that it is. So I'm optimistic. I don't want to, say, right, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to be one of them drama ones that's, van life is dead, because it's not. I'm living it right freaking now, and I'm not going to change. I said in the previous video, I ain't changing. I've got nothing on the outlook for the next 10 years of changing. So van life can't disappear, because I ain't going anywhere. Next one. I saw online a lot of hate directed towards van life and some full-timers during COVID, as people couldn't seem to understand that not everyone in a van wasn't on holiday. Do you feel like the misunderstanding has passed, or if restrictions were reintroduced? We don't want that. Do you feel like the abuse would start up again, and did you get any hassle yourself? Yeah, I got hassle. A few people left some nasty comments about fire and my motorhome and burning it down, which was not very nice. Not a nice thought to, it is what it is. People express themselves with little keyboard warriors. And then when I went out, because backstory, I didn't really make this public at the time, but I stayed in the work car park for 10 weeks during lockdown 1, which I'm grateful for work for, but I'll never do it again, because I was surrounded by probably 300 cars in the middle of the car park, and it's a working car park, so people are coming and going, all different shifts, and you've got trucks and trailers going all around the perimeter. And I was sleeping during the day, obviously all blinds down, but I had to do it because I couldn't travel around outside because you're getting too much abuse. People were hanging out their windows, they're giving me all the hand gestures, calling me all names under the sun, which I'm a polite guy. I won't repeat. I'm not like them. Yeah, and they're like, you're killing old people, you're spreading the virus, but not knowing that I was the one, and many hundreds and thousands of other drivers like me were the ones that were out every day humping their shopping around, and they're all begging to get home delivery shopping. And we're in the trucks trying to hump it all around the country. So, you know, if they knew that, they might have been a bit less, you know, for the jugular, but who knows. But I do think if we were reintroduced to another lockdown, yeah, I think there'd be another. I think the abuse would start again, because people don't like seeing someone have something that someone hasn't got, or someone having fun and they're not. They don't like that at all, whatever it is. And you know, it's like we don't learn. You know, live and let live. Let people, you know. It's horrible times that we've been through, and people still feel the need to make them worse, which sucks, you know. If that's where you're at in life, then you need to take a good look at yourself, because it's not a good place to be, dude. Not a good place to be at all. But fingers crossed, we're coming out the other side, and we don't go back to them restrictions, and everything can just start to go back to something of a normality. Next question from David. How did you get on with getting your COVID injection? If you're full-time and you don't have a home address, how did you get notified? I'm said in the previous video, I am still registered at a doctor's with my family's address, so the notification came through. I got a text, you can go get your... because I was then added to the high-risk category a couple of months back, like the beginning of the year, I got my jab quick, so I'm double jabbed. You know, been double jabbed for months now. Yeah. On my first jab, I felt queasy. Now, most people on this channel know that I will eat anything, and I'm pretty cast iron stomach, but I was queasy and I did throw up on my first jab. I felt queasy for about 3 or 4 days, but second jab, fine, no problems, and yeah, I'm fine, no problems. That isn't to say if in 5 years' time I'm going to grow a second head or something. We don't know. Joke. Right, next question from Jack, who sent this through on Instagram. How have you kept busy during lockdown in such a confined space, and has the past 18 months been a positive or a hindering experience for you personally? So again, I'm not making light of it. People have lost their lives, people have lost loved ones, businesses, everything, homes, all gone. But for me personally, and this is what this question's asking, yeah, I've benefited no end, really, work-wise. I've had more work than you could ever shake a stick at, and I paid off all my debts. Didn't have tons, but I'm now 100% debt-free. Everything's gone. That was just lingering there. I was paying it, but not really trying to pay it off, because it was fine. It was just ticking over. But everything's gone. Yeah, I've made more money than I've ever made in my life, I think. Give or take, I suppose. Yeah, I think, yeah, more money than I've ever made in my life. Because there's been so many hours at work and so much work needs doing to hump all the stuff around the country. So yeah, that was a good experience. But then, you know, if I could swap that so we didn't do all that, I'd swap that in a heartbeat. I'd keep all the debt, and if none of it ever happened, then yeah, I'd keep all the debt, and we'd all just not have had that, with no questions. I wouldn't want anyone to go through what has happened and what people have gone through, because that's just not nice. I'm not one of them keyboard warrior trolls that we were just talking about. Lastly, I just want to say that obviously we talk about COVID. I don't care what all of your thoughts are about COVID. You could think it's a complete hoax. The jabs, Bill Gates is trying to infect us with microchips. You know, whether it was good, it was bad. I don't care any of your personal opinions, because they're yours. You can have them, they're yours. I have mine. Everyone has them. I'm not being rude or anything, but I think we just need to agree that whether you're this side of the fence, that side of the fence, wherever you are on the fence, it's taught us that life's short, man. Life is short. Like I say, it doesn't matter what part of the spectrum you're on, whether, you know, freedoms can get taken away just like that, and world can go to shit in an instant, literally. And no one ever expected this, and it's just literally happened, and we were like, oh, that's not fun. So I think we can all agree that freedoms are really fragile, and just go out and do what you want. If this has taught us anything, just live your life. If you've got this burning thing in the back of your mind that you want to do, go do it. If it fails, at least you tried. Yeah, now more than any time in the world is the time to go do that. So yeah, get up off your ass and go do it. If you failed, at least you tried. Yeah, it's just a lesson. It isn't a failure, it's just a lesson. That is all the questions for this week, guys. I hope it was okay. I didn't want to get too heavy, but I have a lot of questions about COVID, about how I dealt with it and everything like that. So I'm a bit sorry, this is quite a long video. I think I'm in the 20-minute mark. If you've got any questions for next week, make sure you go to the website, links in the description below, so you can get your shiny sticker, which I'll show you now. You only get them if you go to the website and if they're asked on screen. Most of you, apart from one in that lot, will get your sticker and they'll get posted out to you. If you want to buy a sticker pack with the new Motorhome Mondays, that is on the website as well. You can have the sticker pack free for £5 or just one. I think it's £3.50 for one. I'll put the links in the description, and have a beautiful week. Take it easy, guys. Bye.